Welcome back, folks. This is Tommy, help with gadgets.edc. And what we have today is the Richard Rogers Knives X Mid. Now, this knife is the same basic shape as some of the other ones that he's done. The Slim Utility. I think there was a few more designs that were kind of look like the same. And also there's I believe it's CRKT has the Montoya, which is a similar size or similar shaped knife. So it's kind of one of his classic designs. He makes custom knives as well. I've seen some of his custom work at Blade Show, and some of his work is really awesome. And he's translated that to some of the production models that he's either produced or collaborated with others on. So it's a great little knife. For the most part, I do like it, and I'll talk about some of the things that I like and do not like as we get into it. This is a M390 blade. It is about 3 inches long, as you can see here on the measure, right at 3 inches, and I think it's about 7 inches total overall. It is a M390 blade. If I'm not mistaken, that is right there on the blade itself. And the only other billboarding is the Rogers design there. You can tell that there's a good bit of milling there in the pocket that you use to deploy the knife. You can either flip it open with your thumb or with a reverse flick. It's got a fairly simple clip that works really well. I like the milling design on the scales itself, and I like the touch of blue hardware there that just kind of makes it pop a little bit. If you look really closely, and I'm not sure if that comes across on camera, there's actually some micro milling lines on the, there it goes, on the scales itself. So it looks really nice. It seems to wear well. I have carried and used this knife. Although as more recently I haven't carried it as much, and again I'll talk about that a little bit later. Alright, let's do some size comparisons. Let's start out with let's start out with the EMP EDC Nimble. We'll put that below it there, as well as the Kizer Sparrow. Try to line them up pivot to pivot so you can kind of get a good idea of the sizes there. Let's also look at the Miguron Morial and the CJRB Feldspar. Both of those are a tad larger than the X Mid. Let's get the correct one off of the table. We don't want to take the X Mid off just yet. This is the Petrified Fish Mini Beluga, and this is the Giant Mouse Ace Tribeca. So you can see some similarly sized. I think the Tribeca is just a tad longer. Let's try a couple of bigger knives. This is the Beg Knives Bodega, and this is the Microtech MSI. So those are just a tad larger. Alright, let's check the QSP Penguin and the American Blade Works Model 1 Horncliff. There you go. With those size comparisons, let's see. Let's do the CJRB Echo, and that's actually a prototype. Most of the ones that you'll see have the opening hole. And this is the CJRB more Malaya. All right. A couple of similarly shaped blades there. All right. Next up, we'll look at the Eutectic EFD. That's Everyday Field Duty from Liang Ma. His budget line, and the Arcane Designs Praetheon. Okay, so there's a couple more. A couple more pairs, and I think we're done. This is the Arnaud Bernard Amamba and the Holt Haptic. All right, and then last, and certainly not least, let's get those out of the way. Let's do the CJRB, and I hate when I can't remember the name of that one, and I know I should know it. That'll be the second time that I've got in and not been able to remember the name of that. Pyrite. That's the CJRB Pyrite, and this is the Kaiser Cyberblade. Got me all messed up now. And yeah, as you can tell, the Rogers X Mid is definitely longer than the Kaiser Cyberblade. Alright. That'll wrap up the size comparisons. Hopefully that helped you out a little bit. We'll look at the profile here. And let's just put up a couple of these. We'll do the Pyrite, which is, as you can see, that's a good bit similar. And here's the QSP Penguin. So you can tell. I'll do a little bit of the QSP Penguin is just a tad wider, and the Pyrite's about the same. Let's see, what else might we have. This is a EMP EDC Nimble. You can tell it's a good bit wider than this. The Miguron Montreal is also wider. Alright, and I think that'll probably do it for now. So, as you can tell, this is a slim knife. It does fit well in the hand. I wear a extra large size glove, and you can see that I can get 4 fingers on easily, and even have a little bit hanging off the back there. So it does fit in hand well. There's no jimping on the blade. There is a kind of a swedge here at the end. This milling is great as far as adding to the looks of the blade. Most of the time when you're reverse flicking, you're only going to be putting the pad of your finger here on this edge anyways. But you know, depending on your method of opening, those little grooves might come into play. Lanyard hole, I don't really care anything about. It's not prioritized here. The clip does go all the way up to the top of the knife, and as you can tell, the contour of the end of it matches the end of the knife. It's not deep carry, but it's good enough. I mean, it's not going to stick very far out of your pocket at all. The blade fits well into the handle. Detent's good. As you can tell from there, it's pretty snappy. Centering is good on the knife. It's overall a great design. It's not uncomfortable. The clip is a little noticeable, but not a lot. Blade shape is awesome. It's as I've said before, one of my favorite blade shapes. Very easy to make normal cuts that you would make on a regular basis using this as an EDC knife. I do have one little thing that I don't like about it. A lot of knives, we'll take the American Blade Works for example. When you disengage the blade, the detent ball catches right there, and as you push past that, you can then easily close the knife. That's one example. The Kaiser Sparrow, same way, just a little bit of travel until you catch that detent ball. On the X-Mid, when you release, you have to get it all the way over there. Right here is where it's catching that ball. So you've got a lot of travel there. So, and this is just something that you have to be aware of when you're closing it, and muscle memory, to close it enough to where it gets past that that ball. Otherwise, and I do this a lot, you'll end up not getting it up on that the detent ball up on the blade, and you'll have to go back and press the lock bar or force it over onto your top of your thumb. And again, it's nothing major. It's just something to be aware of. And I've noticed that the travel to get to that detent ball was more than some of my other knives. In fact, it's probably more than I've noticed on any other knife that I have. Even the Miguron Morial, it catches right there. As you can tell, this catches right there. So just even a little bit more than the Morial. Again, it's nothing major. It's just something that I don't prefer. Other than that, it slices great. The stonewash finish on the blade is great. As you hopefully can tell over camera, it's makes for a very nice finish on this knife. It is it's an overall great knife. It's just not one that I tend to carry a lot. And again, I like the looks of it. I've enjoyed meeting Richard and Sally, and I don't dislike the knife. I'll say that. It's not a very big knife as far as it's slim. It's 3.05 ounces on the weight, so it carries very well. It just one that you can slip in your pocket and maybe not even notice until you pull it out to do your normal everyday carry things. Opening packages, opening mail, that sort of thing, cutting threads, or maybe even using it for something a little more strenuous. No blade play, up and down or side to side. It's an inset liner lock. There is jimping on the lock portion, just to make it easier to get your finger on that, push it over. There is they've scalloped out this side here, so to allow for easier access to that bar. And I think there's a little bit of lightning, if I'm not mistaken, in there. Some areas that are milled out to make the knife lighter. So again, it works great. It does great in hand. You just have to be aware that you have to get it past that detent ball in order to close it really good. And if you're in the habit of bringing it to your thumbnail, that isn't a problem at all. Action on it is very good, as you can make and tell. Just a little shake to bring it closed. Very smooth. So again, a very good knife, and one that I would recommend to others. So there you have it. That's the Rogers X-Mid, Richard Rogers Knives X-Mid. Hope you've enjoyed the review of that knife. Nothing extensive, just a basic going through of it and the things that I have noticed and the things that I like and dislike about it. Appreciate those that have liked, subscribed to the channel, made a comment, and again, if you make a comment, I will try my very best to get back to you with an answer to that comment. Hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, and hope to see you again soon. Thanks again.